Lake River watershed is located in northern central Minnesota. Within the watershed, the Leech Lake Reservation, the Chippewa National Forest, 4 counties, DNR-owned land, and many private land titles all overlap. The many entities that operate on this land has led to tension within the watershed and has caused environmental challenges. Leech Lake River watershed is primarily covered by wetlands, forests, and lakes. These provide habitats for important plant and animal life and have become impaired by various human activities over time. Colonization led to the implementation of a property system splitting the land into parcels. Today we see a highly fragmented array of land titles held by the federal government, the Minnesota government, different counties, conservation agencies, private landholders, tax forfeited land, and native landholders. The Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe currently only own 4% of the land within their reservation, which is held in trust by the federal government. This flawed trust relationship has made it difficult for Native Americans to use, benefit from, and connect with their lands, because all decisions must go through layers of federal government approval. However, the recent Ojibwe Reservation Restoration Act starts to address this by planning to return 11,700 acres of land from the Chippewa National Forest to the tribe. The social and environmental issues of the watershed are directly connected through the idea of property ownership. The U.S. government controls forests and wetlands. The state government controls wetlands and lakes through the DNR, and the majority of shorelines and forests are under private ownership. Our proposal looks to increase native landholdings and to place these parcels at important intersections of lakes, wetlands, and forests, requiring the federal, state, and private entities to work with the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe to spur positive environmental change.
Steamboat Lake is a highly privatized lake, which has led to a highly individualized culture and has compromised much of the environment around the lake. We propose that privatized docks should be replaced by community docks shared by 6 to 8 households. This challenges colonization by decreasing individualization around the lake and promoting a greater sense of community and social interaction. The new docks will reuse wood from the existing docks, and their structure allows the dock to be modular and create multiple configurations. The dock will float on the surface of the lake with one anchoring point, minimizing its impact on the aquatic environment. To create these new lake systems, first the lakeshore communities are identified. Then the landowners cooperate to design their shared dock. Private docks are removed and parts are reused in the new dock. These docks facilitate more social activities. A raised trail circumvents around the lake, connecting each of the shared docks. This consolidation of docks allows the damaged ice to reform, providing a buffer of protection against runoff and sedimentation. Ice ridges are formed in the winter when the sheet of ice on the lake is moved by the water beneath it. It pushes against the shoreline of the lake, creating a natural elevation change on the shore. This creates a natural buffer that absorbs runoff and holds nutrients, protecting the water body. Over time, the implementation of private docks has flattened the ice ridge, which has led to the impairment of Steamboat Lake. The reduction of the number of docks around the lake would allow this ice ridge to reform.
The planned path around the lake would connect to existing and new public access points, making them more accessible and promoting more community use of the lake and increased social interactions. The elevation of roads in specific areas allows for the wetland below to be uninterrupted. Plants and animals are no longer restricted to certain areas, promoting restoration of the environment. Boardwalks connect to the shoreline path, creating a network of pathways to be used by pedestrians for various outdoor activities. The boardwalks flow below the raised roads connecting to the wetlands. The boardwalks are constructed from reclaimed wood and are supported by helical piles. Helical piles are screwed into the ground and cover a very small area of land, allowing for minimal impact on the environment. Lowered points of the boardwalk provide seating and allow people to get close to and interact with wetlands and water bodies. Raised platforms along the boardwalk provide lookout points and places for social interaction. Zooming out, land trust issues are addressed. Our proposal looks to transfer tax-forfeited land to native land, increasing native land holding. New homes and businesses can be placed on these parcels to support the tribe. These parcels are located at the intersection of lakes, wetlands, and forests, making the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe the unifying force within the watershed. Although the land is split up by individual parcels, the lakes, wetlands, and forests are all shared resources that need to be protected by all inhabitants of the watershed. Federal, state, county, and private entities need to work with and include the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe to implement environmental changes within the watershed. Within private properties, the Wetland Bank program will be used to promote the restoration of wetlands. Private landowners with wetlands on their property are able to work to restore and protect them in exchange for financial compensation. The Leech Lake Watershed Stewardship Plan works with private landowners to protect and regrow forests that are on their properties. The USDA, DNR, and Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe each have strategies to address environmental issues and can work with private landowners to help them. Parcels acquired from the Ojibwe Reservation Restoration Acts could be used to fill in holes of the current native land, allowing for a more contiguous holding of land. This allows for more efficient use of land and greater level of native sovereignty. With this expansion of trust land, the issues of the land trust system also need to be addressed. The U.S. government maintains all of the power in the trustee relationship, negatively impacting Native Americans. Programs such as the BAA pilot program look to transfer certain trust responsibilities from the federal government to tribes, which is a good starting point towards a future where Native Americans have full ownership and sovereignty over their land.
The goal of this proposal is to move the watershed away from the highly individualized landscape to placing more community interaction and involvement.
This looks not to assimilate all of the groups of the watershed together, but to create a higher level of understanding, empathy, and cooperation between the U.S. government, state government, county governments, privatized landowners, and Native Americans. And it is hoped that positive environmental change can be promoted through these relationships.